Okay, now we're recording. So like I said, my name is Kayla Good. I'm a bronze ambassador here with Q, and it's been a little over a year, I guess almost a year and a half now that I've been with the company. And what I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight is something that I have been really working on a lot this past year. I've been in the network marketing industry for 6.5 years. So I was with a company prior to joining Q for about 5 years. And if you've been around the network marketing industry for any amount of time, you know that it is a lot of personal growth and personal development. And the way I marketed and did things 6.5 years ago is not how it's done now. So there's been a lot of changes and growing, learning how to market the most effective in where we are right now. So this subject, attraction marketing, my team has heard a lot about it over the past year because, like I said, it's something that I've really been working on and trying to learn as much as I can about it and just be able to do it well, right? We all have goals for our business, and I know that there are so many things that come up and it's like, maybe I'm not posting well, or maybe I'm not doing that well, or what's going on here. And so it's a lot of learning and a lot of personal development. So I'm going to share with you guys tonight a lot of what I have learned over the past year about attraction marketing. And maybe some of it will be new to you and exciting, something new you can try, or maybe it will be old news and you just are going to get a refresher. So either way, thank you guys so much for jumping on tonight. And I'll jump in. So some of the things that I've said to myself over the last year, and that I've heard a lot from my team and other network marketers, are things like, I don't know what to post. I'm attracting the wrong people. Have you guys been there where it feels like we're like just begging anybody to join our team, and then we're like, well, that's not working out, or that's not the best thing, or you're getting all these messages and it's not really what you're looking for. Maybe something like, I don't get much feedback from my posts. That's super frustrating, right? When we're posting and we feel like, oh, this is an awesome post. I spent so much time on this. I edited this picture for like 30 minutes. Like, why am I not getting a million comments? Why am I not getting these things? And maybe this one has been a struggle for me for years now that I feel like I finally am getting a grasp on and understanding a little bit better. You hear about branding all the time, right? Like, you know, you need to have a brand and brand yourself. And my biggest struggle has been, I don't know what the heck my brand is. I like so many things. Like I'm a mom, I have 3 kids, I have a newborn now, I do photography, I am obsessed with hemp, but also I like to travel and I really like to dance. And I like, you know, all these different things, and trying to identify like, what is my brand? Right. Some social marketers you'll see like on Instagram and stuff, I feel like, okay, that girl is great at like mom tips and that's all she talks about. It's the one thing, it's like her one little thing that she just zones in on and everyone loves it. But if I'm authentic to myself, my brand would be a wide variety of things. And that's always felt like a problem to me. Can any of you identify with that? Where it's like, I don't even know what to make my brand, right? So I'll read the comment or the chat when I get done. I get so sidetracked and ADD off the wall if I try to read them. So don't think I'm ignoring your chats. I just cannot multitask. But yeah, put everything in the chat and I'll read through them when we get done. So anyways, after realizing these issues, feeling like my social media presence and my posting and everything was just going nowhere, not being able to identify my brand, I have learned some things. So first of all, if you guys do have a notebook and a pen in front of you, awesome. You can use it, take some notes. I'll have some things I'll have you write down to work on later. If you don't, this recording will be posted. I'll post it in the movement. I'll post it in the Crown Royal run, and also obviously Limitless, my team, I'll post it in our team page. So attraction marketing is the culmination of your marketing efforts to draw customers to you and your brand. Again, you might be like, yeah, but what's my brand, dude? we'll go over that in a little bit. So don't worry. As any marketing strategy, attraction marketing focuses on setting your brand apart from your competitors by making your company / products attractive to potential buyers. Now, when I first heard attraction marketing, I understood the concept, right? You want to attract people to you. I took that as, okay, I need to become as attractive as possible, which is in part true, but it's not physically attractive. It's not how great you look in your post. It's not how much like a skin softening editor you use. It's not, it's different for everybody, right? So attraction marketing is not looking attractive. It's not just posting your highlight reels and just about how great your life is. It's not about perfect posts. My team's heard me talk a lot about this because I struggled for a long time with wanting my posts to be perfect. And so then what would happen? I wouldn't ever post because I couldn't get my posts to be perfect. And I'd spend hours trying to figure them out and I wasn't satisfied. So I just wouldn't post. So when we try to do that, to make it all be, to look perfect, and we're trying to, maybe you saw somebody on Instagram or on Facebook and you love the way they market, or you love the way their pictures look or their post looks, and you try to emulate that, we are shooting ourselves in the foot. And I'll go into why in just a second, but attraction marketing is all about being authentic. We can't make everyone like us. We can't become anybody else. So I can't say, well, Fran has so many people on her team and people join her so easily, so I need to be just like Fran. That will never work, because what will happen is I will be attracting Fran's people, right? I will be, and then when we actually get to working and talking and doing things, it doesn't click, it doesn't work. You can only attract, the people you want to attract are people that are like you. So attraction marketing is all about being authentic. You attract what you are. And when I first heard that quote, that you attract what you are, I was like, oh, there's some parts about me that I really don't know that I want to attract to my business, right? I don't want to attract somebody that sometimes gets lazy and decides to watch Netflix rather than doing her IPAs. Or I don't want to, you think about the bad parts of you or the parts you want to grow and you think, well, I don't want to attract that. Well, you're in the best industry, because we are we are personal development with a comp plan, right? We should always be elevating. So the parts about you that you don't want to attract, or maybe you have attracted people that have those qualities and you're like, not what I signed up for. I don't like that. You can always be growing. You should always be growing and choosing who you want to attract. Okay, so that was the problem. I don't know what to post. I don't know what my brand is. The solution is attraction marketing. So now we're going to get into the how-to. So how do you do attraction marketing effectively? How do you become a pro at it? Number one, figuring out what your brand is. There's a couple tips I'm going to use. And because this is recorded, I know a lot of people, I'm sorry if you guys can hear my dogs barking, they're going crazy out there, but I know a lot of people are going to be watching this recording after, so I'm not going to take too long of a pause to let you guys think of these right now. So maybe write these things down and then think of them after the call. So your brand is you. What do you like? What do your days look like? There's not a right answer. There's not a wrong answer. And contrary to what I used to believe, there can't be too many things. You can love rock climbing and sewing and whatever it is. What do you like? What are your hobbies? And so then I want you to write down your top 3 hobbies. Now, if you're a mom and you have little kids, it's like, I think about that and I'm like, well, my hobby is like going to sleep at a reasonable time and hoping my baby lets me sleep. Like, is that a hobby? My hobby, I wrote in our team page today, we were talking about that and I wrote baths. Like, I like taking baths. Is that a hobby? Sometimes we get so caught up in our adult life of bills and kids and everything. We don't even really know what our hobbies are or what we like. So really spend some time thinking about this. If those answers don't come super easy to you, write down 3 of your top hobbies. something you enjoy doing that's just for you. What do you like? And then you're gonna write down your top 3 focuses. And what I mean by focuses is, where is your attention mostly? This could be on your kids. This could be if you work another job, on your job. Try not to, for these things, try not to write Q related things. I know a lot of our focus is on working our Q businesses, right? Like if I want to, where I focus my day, I would probably say the kids, cleaning / cooking, and Q, right? But you really try to expand here. Like, what are your focuses? And then the last thing I'll have you write on this is your top 3 identifiers. What do you identify as? And I'm not asking about like your gender preferences or anything like that. You can write that, you can use those things if you want to, but by identifiers, I mean, like, what do you identify as? Do you identify as a mom? Before I got back into network marketing, I was an insurance, for State Farm. I worked for State Farm as an insurance agent. Agent is the word I'm looking for. And so I would identify myself as a State Farm agent at that time, right? What, as a mom, as a wife, whatever it is, things that you use to identify yourself. If you were writing a bio of get to know me, what are 3 of those things you would write for that? So after this call, or when you get a chance, spend some time really thinking about those things. You can write more than 3, but that's just a way to get you started on thinking of what your brand could be, or what your brand looks like. And remember that your brand is not one thing. Your brand is you. So we want to learn how to market ourselves. We want to learn how to make what we are putting out there valuable, where people look forward to seeing our posts, because the people that are going to be attracted to our posts are the people that are also interested in the things that we are posting, right? And so we'll get into a little bit more of that in a second, but the second thing I want to focus on is finding out who our target market is. If you've never thought about this, then I've been there. This is actually a newer concept that I have dove into a little bit. But figuring out what our target market is. Now, a lot of you might think my target market is anybody who wants to join my team or buy products, right? Like, my target market is everybody. But when we speak to everybody, we speak to no one. When our goal is just to cast a wide generic net, that sounds great in theory, because then we might, catch more people, but that doesn't speak to anybody. You've heard a lot of trainings, I'm sure, about, posting in like storytelling mode, and getting people to feel what you felt when you first joined, or when you first realized that your hemp calmed you down, or whatever it is, right? We want people to feel the emotions that we felt. And when we just cast this really wide net and hope that anybody joins us, then it's not gonna land on anybody. It's not speaking to anybody. So when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. So how do we identify our primary target audience? And this can change. So all of this, like anything else in network marketing and growing your business and just owning your own business, it is going to change all the time and grow and expand all the time. So keep that in mind. But so we want to identify our primary target audience. And then we'll talk a little bit about secondary markets. So for the primary target, for this exercise, I guess, we're just going to choose one. So something that you focus on a lot, or that you identify as, that's going to be your target market. So for me, for my lifestyle, my target market is stay-at-home moms who want more, right? We don't really have time for more, but we want more. So, stay-at-home moms that want more, that's kind of my primary market. And so write that down. If you don't write my primary market down, right? Write yours. It could be the same, but think about that. Your primary market is who you identify with the most. Having this very clear and focused, and having an idea of who you are talking to when you're posting makes it so much easier, because what is the whole goal here? To be authentic, right? To draw people into us. And when our primary market is us, is who we are speaking, it's what we are identifying with, who we are speaking to, those posts are easy to make, because you don't need to think too hard. You don't need to, come up with a story. It's your story. So your target market is you, right? Is like-minded people. There's also secondary markets. So all of my posts aren't going to be directed at stay-at-home moms, for example. Some of my posts, my secondary market is for me personally. I also, people with anxiety. So that could be somebody that isn't a stay-at-home mom. For me, what really made me fall in love with Q was our hemp oil. I struggled with really, really bad anxiety, and was in the middle of a short story here, in the middle of a bad panic attack. Fred had sent me some hemp to try, and I had run out of my prescription Xanax, and I was in the bathroom. My kids were needing dinner, and I was in the middle of just a debilitating panic attack. If you've ever dealt with anxiety or panic attacks, it's real bad, right? It felt like I was never gonna feel better. And I thought, oh, I have that hemp that Fran sent me. Let me try it and see what I think. What the hell? It might not work, but I'll give it a shot. And after trying it within 20 minutes, my daughter said something and I laughed, and I realized, oh my gosh, like that cloud is lifted. Like I see, I feel a little bit happy. I feel a little bit better. I feel like I can actually go make dinner and not freak out. Right. So for me, my secondary market is anybody who struggles with anxiety. I love to talk to people who are struggling with that, because I feel like I have a solution for them. So identify some of those secondary markets for you. You have your primary market, your target market, and then your secondary market. Who do you want to reach? And really be careful not to just say anybody. I know that sometimes when business is slow, or you feel like your team isn't growing as fast as you want it to be, or your paycheck isn't where you want it to look, we think, if anybody joins me, it's fine. They don't need to be in my primary, they don't need to be in my secondary, just anybody. But be careful with that, because if you've been around the industry for very long, those are typically the people that you're going to feel like you have to pull up, right? That you have to beg to get on team calls, that you have to beg to do their IPAs and things like that. You want people who are like you, because then it's like you speak a different language. You can communicate with them a lot clearer. Okay, so we've talked about figuring out our brand, figuring out who our target market is, and the big thing, now that we've kind of thought through a couple of these things, is, okay, what do I post? So yeah, I want to cultivate this brand, and I want to talk to my target market, but what do I post? How do I do that effectively? So I'm just going to share a few tips. First of all, to attract your target market, which is who you identify with, you want to allow your audience to like, know, and trust you. These are really, really important. And I try to remember these. I've heard this so many times from so many trainings, but I try to remember this when I make a post, because there has to be a goal. And the goal of your post can't just be to get a new customer, to get a new ambassador, because some people aren't going to be there yet. People buy from people they like. People buy from people who they know. People buy from people who they trust. So how do we make strangers, we're always growing our network and adding new people on social media. How do we make people, through our posts, like, know, and trust us? And so from tips for that, by posting your real life. Use stories to share your day, like the stories features on Instagram and Facebook. We used to make fun of people who'd always post their food. Do you guys remember that? It's not so big right now, but it was always like food posts. Now we have stories, so it's totally acceptable to do that. Post your breakfast, post your lunch, post when you take your products in the morning. Post, post on your story if it's 3 p.m. and your kid's driving you crazy and you need to take some hemp. Post on your stories. Also post the new hairspray you just got that you love in your stories. Just post your day. Post about your kids, post about whatever you're doing. Did you garden that day? Did you guys go swimming? Like, just share your life. Because when people feel like they can see into your life, they can see a little glimpse into your life, it helps them like, know, and trust you. Now, like I talked about before, not everyone's going to like you. And as a recovering people pleaser, that's really hard for me. I want everyone to like me. I don't like the idea that someone might not like me, but I'm 30 years old now, and the past 10 years have taught me that people aren't going to like, not everyone's going to like me, right? That's just how it is. In my perfect little dream world, everyone likes me and there's no problem, but that's not reality. And it's okay that not everyone likes you. It's okay if not everybody identifies with you and can relate to you. That's okay. We want people that do like us and that do know us and that do trust us to join our teams. We and those people will. So if you're when you're making a post or even posting in your stories, if you think, if you're about to make the post and you're like, oh, I don't know if everyone's going to like this, or I don't know if everyone's going to agree with this, that's okay. I'm going to get into some things like maybe not to post or tips about that. But so I'm not saying like just post everything controversial and things like that, but be yourself. And and just remember that it's okay if someone doesn't like it. It's okay if a lot of people don't like it, right? You're trying to attract people that are like you. So also in your stories, post like products you like, stores you like, restaurants you like, give recommendations. And the people that are drawn to you, to your authenticity, are the people you want to work with anyways. So don't be afraid to share your life. I know that's hard. I have something I'm working on right now currently is being active on social media and posting, even on the days that I'm not feeling my best, even on the days that I am overwhelmed and I don't feel like posting, or I don't really want to share my life because my life doesn't look great right then. Right. Still post. And that's something like I said, I'm working on. And if that's something you struggle with too, make that a goal to just share your life. Now it's important. I know I have this in my notes somewhere, but I don't want to forget. So I might go over this twice, but it's really important that to kind of balance you being authentic and posting who you are and what you like in your life, but then also realizing that you're going to attract what you're putting out there. So I don't want all of our social medias to be these highlight reels of our perfect lives. But on the contrary, if you are somebody that if your post and you realize your last few posts, you've been complaining a lot, right? Posting things like, I don't know, complaining about whatever's going on. If you notice that your posts have been pretty complainy, even if you don't feel like you're a very complainy person, I don't think complaining is a word, but now it is. So if you feel like you've been posting and you've been complaining a lot, for example, you're going to attract people who complain a lot. And I don't know about you, but that's not who I want on my team, right? Like, so think about that when you're posting. What you are saying, what you're putting out there is what you will attract. And so kind of check yourself on that. Am I complaining a lot? Am I posting like bad reviews? Like, if you go to a restaurant and the service wasn't good, is that what you're posting on social media? Complaining that the waitress didn't bring your food fast enough or whatever it is. Just realize that what you are putting out there is what you are going to attract. And so if you look through your posts and you see that you've just not been a very positive person, those are the people that you will attract. So you're going to have to check that. Okay. So the goal is to get people to like, know, and trust you, right? So remember, not everyone will like you, and that's okay. How do we get them to know us? Again, posting about your life. Let your social audience get to know you, review your timeline. After this call, if you have a chance, go back and kind of look through your last few posts. Would a stranger really know you from that post? Obviously not know you like your best friend or your spouse would know you, but would they have a sense of who you are? Or would they know this perfected version of you? Is what you're putting out there your highlight reel? Is it only the good things? And that's something that I feel like we all do. And if you notice, I noticed for myself that a lot of my posts, I was only sharing the happy, only sharing the good times, and not really sharing my struggles, because I didn't want to be complaining. And I'm going to share a tip on how you can make sure that you can be authentic and share what's going on with your life and share your struggles without being negative. But you don't want them to know this perfected version of you, because they aren't perfect, right? The people that are reading these things aren't perfect. So if they look at your social media and they think, oh, that girl has it all together, like, what a life, right? They can't connect to that. They can't relate to that. And so when they're looking for someone that they like, know, and trust to order sleep spray from or order a product from, they might like you, but they're only seeing this perfect version of you. So make sure that you are being authentic in your posting. And then trust. We want them to like, know, and trust us. So how do we get these strangers a lot of times to trust us? Trust is a hard thing. I hope, my hope is I want every time I post something or recommend something, everyone just believes it, right? And they're like, yeah, sure, Kayla said it, so it must be true, right? That's probably not the case all the time, because not everyone trusts me. Not everyone likes me or knows me or trusts me. So how do we cultivate that trust? You want to encourage. So be somebody that when someone goes to your social or sees your post in their timeline, that every once in a while, like, you're uplifting them, you're inspiring them. Whether it's a tip on getting your kids to go to sleep better, or maybe it's just like a Monday motivation, Munslay kind of thing, whatever it is, however you inspire and however you motivate yourself, share that. And also by becoming an expert with some of the things that you want to share. And I'm sure that, I know we're all experts in different things, right? Like, this is a stupid analogy that I just thought of, so this isn't like a real thing, but I think I'm a really good peanut butter and jelly sandwich maker. I just made that for my kids a little bit ago, so it's fresh in my head. I've made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for my kids for 9 years now. So I feel like I'm an expert at that. So I can make a post sharing some of the tips of how I make my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I think, the best way, whatever, right? That's going to attract people that really like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right? Or maybe stay-at-home moms. So that's just an example, but you get what I'm saying. Where are you an expert in? And share that. And then where do you want to become an expert in? Because our business, our business is health and wellness. We should actively be looking and learning more about our products, about the ingredients, about the hemp industry as a whole. When I first joined Q, I started looking looking up and researching hemp, like, in just the industry, and so many things about it blew my mind. I had no idea all the amazing things this little plant can do, right? Becoming an expert, and this doesn't mean that don't post anything until you're an expert. That's the opposite of what we want, right? But become an expert where you're posting about, say you're posting about Q Core, and you've been posting a little bit about gut health, and a lot of people don't know they need to take a probiotic. A lot of people, whatever it is. And so when they think, oh, my stomach's been hurting really bad, or I've been having a lot of brain fog, or I'm having trouble sleeping, they're going to think, you know what? Well, I've seen Kayla post a few times about some cool things about probiotics. Maybe I should reach out to her. So give yourself some credibility, and you build that trust by what you post. So evaluate your post on that too. Recommend products that you love, from totally non-Q related things. Like if you get a new set of sheets that you really like. Again, I just did from Amazon, and they're changing my life because the sheets don't come up off the bed anymore. And things like that. Every day we're consuming things, we're listening to podcasts, we're listening to music, we're trying new products, we are whatever it is, right? Share those things. So share products you love, recommend products that you get paid for and that you don't get paid for. So we obviously get paid for, sharing, and when people buy and join with Q. So we're always sharing our Q products, or we're sharing hemp things, or we're sharing, vitamin things, or whatever it is. But also share things that you don't get paid for, just things that you love, different products that you love. Because if I recommend a really good hairbrush that I say I get this new hairbrush and I really love it, and I make a post about it or put in my stories, and then Sally goes and buys the hairbrush and likes it, then she's like, what Kayla said, she was right? She trusts me a little bit about hairbrush, at least. So then when I post about how much hemp is helping me, she's going to trust me a little bit more than before, right? So we can gain credibility by authentically sharing things we like, and products that we like, that we use, that we love, and building trust that way. Okay, so just to recap on that, focus on posting is to get people to like, know, and trust us. You're going to be doing all those things when you in your posts and your stories, and you're just sprinkling in Q. So a lot of times, when I first joined the network marketing industry, I was taught by my uplines at the time that all my posts should be about the company. My Facebook, it was in my bio, my link was in the bio, my name, like I changed my name to like the company name, Kayla Good. Everything was centered around, I became like an ad. And I'm sure you guys have even heard, and there's some truth to this, but not the way I took it, that your social media is your storefront, right? You've heard that. Some of that is good. You want to keep it looking nice, but it isn't really a storefront. It's your life, right? It's the window into your life, and you are more than Q, right? Even, Fran is more than Q. Jake Spencer is more than Q. No matter where you are in the company, there's a lot else in your life that you love. There's a lot else in your life that you think about, that you're focusing on, and that's going on. And so your social media, which should just be like a window into your life, if all people are seeing is Q posts and join tonight, or for a discount, or pictures of the products, or whatever, if that's all that people are seeing when they go to your social media, there's no way that they're going to connect with you, right? Because that's not sharing you at all. So your timeline shouldn't be an ad, but a view into your life. You're not only a Q Sciences ambassador. So we should sprinkle Q posts into our life, into the rest of our posts. So kind of evaluate that too. Sometimes I'll go back and look at my timeline and I realize, oh my gosh, all I've posted about for the past few posts is Q. Because like I shared with you before, a lot of times it's hard for me to post and share my life when I'm overwhelmed or when things are going on, when I'm not feeling my best. So then I realize I will only be posting when I'm doing my IPAs. And then in my head, that's a Q post, right? So really check yourself with that weekly. Look back through your timeline, see where you can tweak things, and see if you've shared enough of your life, or has it just been about business? Okay, so another tip in posting that I love, and I'm sure if you've been around, you've heard this before, Have you guys heard of the feel, felt, found method? Feel, felt, found. Say that a few times fast. I love this because this also works in like arguments with your spouse, like with your kids. This works all over the place. I know how you feel. I felt that way too. This is what I found. So if you're having a hard time knowing what to post, think of a topic that drew you to Q. If you're thinking about knowing what, let me rephrase that. If you're wondering what to post and you want to make a Q related post, right? So you want to think something that drew you. Think about the first time your sponsor, you talked to your sponsor and you felt that little glimmer of hope, right? Like, what if this is for me? I know for me, I shared my story when I tried the hemp. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it, right? So you're going to share that. So an example post that I'm just thinking of this at the top of my head. So don't write this down and use this exactly. But if I'm going to make a post about, if I'm trying to attract people that have anxiety that need help, right? I can talk about how I felt that, you know, if you're struggling with anxiety, I know how you feel. Again, that's not compliant. Don't do that. But I know how you feel. I felt that way too. I struggled with really debilitating panic attacks and anxiety attacks. It was awful. This is what I found. And so you can use that for as a little outline if you're really struggling with, okay, how do I get this message across in a story form, and where I'm gonna get my audience to feel the way I felt. Use the feel. That's a tongue twister. If you're going to get the audience to feel the way you felt, use the feel, felt, found method. So yes, how you put it in story form. How did you feel? How do you want them to feel? When I make a post that's talking about how much Fuse has helped me with that issue, I want people to feel hopeful. I want someone reading that to think, man, if that worked for her, like, I want to try it because what if it's going to help me, right? So use the feel, felt, found method. Okay, we're almost done, guys. Thank you for hanging on with me. I hope you're getting a lot out of this training. I know I'm talking kind of fast. I realized that this was a little bit, I prepared a little bit longer than what our normal calls are, so I'm sorry about that. But some tips for kind of tying this all together. Cultivating your brand, which remember is you. It's that simple. It's that simple, and we make it so complicated. For years, I tried to make my brand of one specific thing, and it didn't work because I was limiting myself, right? So some tips for tying this all together. Think about your aesthetic. Now, I told you we don't need to have everything perfect. I'm a photographer as well, so I have a really hard time with pictures. I have a really hard time posting unedited pictures, and you guys can go back. I'm setting myself up for failure right now. I am not the perfect ambassador or the perfect person. I'm learning all this stuff too. But if you guys go back and look at like my personal timeline, I will edit pictures and try to keep things looking nice, which is good. Like that, there's a good part of that, but don't let that hold you up from making the post in the first place. Done is better than perfect every single time. So, but you do want to you want things to look nice. When you go look at someone's page, what attracts you to that page? It can be, you can do this and work on your aesthetic as simply as choosing a preset or a filter that you like, and using that on most of your pictures, right? So when someone goes to your Instagram and pulls up your Instagram, I've been working on this lately. I'm proud of my Instagram right now. This is something I struggled with for so long. When someone pulls up your Instagram, I don't know if you guys see, a lot of the pictures look about the same. They're the same preset on them. It looks aesthetically pleasing, right? And so it's gonna be different for everyone. The one I use, I actually went out and I was looking at different social marketers, and I really liked the way it looked, and so I wanted to know exactly which one she used so I can just do the same thing. Be original, be authentic. What do you like? What color scheme do you like? What looks good to you? Because again, that is what is going to attract the people you want to attract. Another tip is to plan. Posting, I shared with you guys, it's difficult for me a lot of times to post when I don't feel like it and know what to post and all of those things. So set up a plan. Maybe on Sundays, if you can, take an hour, write down the days of the week or put it in your planner or your calendar and plan out kind of what you want to post or what you want it to look like. Maybe, for example, try to do one post a day that's Q related. That's, your goal is leading people to talk to you about your product, your business. A Q related post is not join my Q Sciences team, today only for $20 and I'll Venmo you the rest of it. Not that. We're not sales people, right? So posting one Q related post, sharing a testimony, sharing a story, whatever that is. But also plan in some of your just attraction posts. Like, what do you want to share? And again, I am separating posts and stories. I don't give a lot of thought. A little bit, and please give a little bit of thought to your stories. But stories are great for just throwing out your day, throwing out whatever is going on, what you're doing, what you're looking at, whatever, right? Just sharing your day. But in your posts that stick around for more than 24 hours, you want to be intentional. So plan for that. For example, on some like branding posts, maybe on Monday, you plan out to post about one of your hobbies. If you like to rock climb, maybe post a picture of the last time you were rock climbing and talk about how much you love it. Does anyone else rock climb? I didn't read the whole comment in the chat, so I hope I'm answering the question. I saw, what do you end your post with? You want to end your posts, especially that are where you're trying to get people to respond to you. If I posted just a picture, my daughter's birthday is tomorrow, so I'm going to post, a picture of her or whatever. I'm not asking for people's response. There's a difference in kind of what you're doing when you're posting. But if you're wanting a response, then ask for it. It's as simple as that. And we overcomplicate it so much. But call to action, put a question at the end that would make people think, ooh, I'm going to answer that. I'm going to answer that question. Tie your posts in and end your posts with a question or some kind of call to action that you're asking someone to do something. So some great, just tips for general posting. The first thing you say, you want it to be eye-catching and like, what would make you stop and read that post? If it's something that would catch your attention, then likely it's going to catch the attention of the people that you want to attract. And then when you're asking the question at the end of the post, what kind of question would you answer? What would speak to you? And that's how you know how to end your post. That's how you know what kind of question to ask. So maybe you're going to plan this out. Maybe Monday, you're going to post a rock climbing, post. And then Tuesday, plan out that you're going to post like a focus related post. So some of the things that when we started talking about figuring out what your brand is, like what are you focusing on? So maybe you're going to make a post about your kids. And I posted yesterday. I didn't really intend for this to be this, but I posted yesterday a picture of my 6-week-old swaddled, and I had a bunch of people message me and ask how I swaddle that way, right? Like post something that you're focused on, and other people that are in your demographic are going to be curious about that too, right? Then on maybe Wednesday, you're going to post something about something you identify with. So you're gonna maybe post something motivational to other moms, right? And these are all like non-Q related posts, but just how to kind of get our brand across. So plan those out. Some people this comes really easy for, and they can just post and post and post. For me, it doesn't. I've got to have a plan. So batching your content and planning it out for the week helps a lot, because then if your Monday gets really, really busy and you realize, oh, I haven't posted, or I don't know what to post, you already have it planned out. Another tip for this that I love is to batch contenting is taking a lot of pictures. So maybe you're going to go out and you know, we like to use like selfies or whatever for different kinds of posts, right? So maybe you're someone that doesn't normally do that. You don't take selfies a lot, or when you do, you take 1,500 selfies, and you look through all of them and you edit 50 of them, and before you pick the one you actually like, right? And then how long did that take you? So that was unproductive. Speaking from experience, I don't think I've done 1,500, but you know what I mean. So instead of doing that, choose a day of the week. I like Sundays because I like to really keep my Sundays super low key and just relax as much as possible. Maybe take an hour out of your Sunday, go outside or find good lighting in your house, you know, a pretty generic background or something. Take a couple different outfits, set yourself timer up on your cell phone. You can get a tripod and a ring light on Amazon for super cheap, if you want to use those, and take a few different pictures. You doesn't all need to be posed perfectly. It doesn't, you know, and there's a ton of tips. You can look up on Pinterest or just Google it, how to take good selfies. Do it. Just research it, figure it out, and take a few different pictures and a few different outfits. And then you can use those throughout the week for different posts. You know, keep a file on your phone that says, you know, batching or content, and use those. Just throw it in there with your post that you planned. Again, done is better than perfect. So, and remember that. I have it written down on a sticky note on above my computer, because that's something I struggle with. So identify what you struggle with, and actively work ways around it, right? The last couple things I'll share is to do a timeline review. Maybe ask your sponsor to review your timeline, or someone that you trust in this department to look at your timeline, look at your Instagram, look at your Facebook, and say, you know, and do it for yourself too. Ask yourself, who am I attracting by these posts, or who would be attracted to these posts? Am I sharing me? Am I being authentic? Am I complaining too much? What is my social media telling me? Because that's what it's telling other people. So do a review, ask somebody to help you with that if you want. And the last thing is, when you're trying to develop and cultivate this brand and really perfecting your attraction marketing, is look to people who are doing it well. Who do you like following on Instagram? Like, whose stories are you always excited to see? Or like, what attracts you? And then don't just copy everything they're doing, because as much, maybe you're like super, super close to them, or you have really similar personalities, it's still not going to be 100% you. It's not going to be authentic if you're just copying everything somebody else does. But kind of look and get ideas. Look for things. There's a girl that is with another network marketing company, but I just love the way she does her stories. And I've taken a lot of tips and kind of tweaked it to make it more me, but I love the way she does it. And so look at who you are following, who you like following, and ask yourself, why do I like following this person? What are they doing that's attracting me? And that'll give you a really good answer into what you should be putting out there, right? Because we attract who we are. So I know that was a lot. That was a lot of information, and but just to kind of tie it all together, the most important thing in attraction marketing is to be authentic, and to share that. What you post might not connect with me. It might not mean anything to me. If you post a picture of your sewing project, I don't know how to do that. That's not something that I am interested in. So it won't really connect with me, but it will connect to the people that you want it to connect with, right? When we try to be somebody else, we're going to attract people. We're not going to be able to attract people to us. We're attracting people to those people that we're trying to emulate. So be authentic. Don't be afraid to share your life, and don't overcomplicate it. That's something that I have definitely learned over the past year, is that I overcomplicate the crap out of things. And when you keep it simple, it works. And again, done is better than perfect. So before I know we've been on here for a little bit longer than I planned. Does anyone have any questions? I'll try to scan through this chat really quick. But I'm going to turn the recording off. So if anyone has any questions, or anything you want to say or anything, just unmute yourself.